The beginning, the enemy he wouldn't abandon. Rowan patched her wound as best he could using what remained of the crash kit. She watched him carefully, studying every move, every breath, as though searching for malice. "What's your name?" Rowan asked as he splinted her leg. After a long pause, she answered, "Vera." She avoided saying her full title, but Rowan already knew enough. Vera, the only daughter of King Zoran, ruler of the Dravari Empire, infamous for her anti-war speeches, known across the enemy networks as a dissident, the royal who wanted peace. And now she was stranded on a battlefield she had opposed. "Why were you here?" Rowan asked. "I came secretly to negotiate with your commanders," she said, shame flickering in her eyes. "I thought if they saw a Dravari royal begging for peace, it would matter. But we were ambushed. My own people, those who want the war to continue." Rowan stared at her. She wasn't an enemy. She was the one voice fighting for the same future he wanted. He offered her his shoulder. "There's a safe ridge about 20 kilometers from here. If we reach it, I can signal a pickup." She grimaced in pain but nodded. "But you know this changes nothing human," Vera said quietly. "Your people will never allow my survival." Rowan glanced toward the rising smoke of the destroyed shuttle. "Then I guess I'll just have to protect you." The middle, hunted, forced together, and changed forever. For 2 days they traveled through the dense crimson forest. Rowan carried Vera when her leg refused to cooperate. They slept in turns, trusting each other more than either expected. Vera was brilliant, sharp with wit, and unafraid to challenge every belief Rowan had been taught about her people. Rowan, in turn, showed her compassion, humor, and the stubborn human resilience Vera thought was nothing more than wartime propaganda. Somewhere along the journey, the distrust between them faded. Their jokes became real. Their conversations became honest. Their silences became comfortable. But danger was never far. On the third night, they heard the unmistakable roar of Dravari warhounds, trackers genetically engineered to hunt anything that ran. Rowan lifted Vera into his arms. "Hold on. You're fast, but not fast enough," she urged. "Leave me. Save yourself. And let them kill you? Not happening." Vera pressed a trembling hand to his chest.
"Why?"
"We are enemies." Rowan met her gaze. "Because you're a person. And because no one deserves to die trying to stop a war." Before she could speak, the hounds broke through the trees. Rowan fired his plasma pistol, covering their escape, but 2 more beasts leapt into their path. Vera reached toward the ground, her hand glowing with bioenergy. "Move," she shouted. A telekinetic shockwave burst from her palm, throwing the hounds back. The 2 of them stumbled through the brush until they reached a sheer cliff. Cornered, Rowan stepped in front of Vera, weapon raised despite trembling arms. "If they want you," he growled, "they go through me." Unexpectedly, she smiled, and she placed her hand over his, steadying the gun. Together, they fought until the ridge patrol from Rowan's beacon finally arrived. The hounds retreated as human soldiers surrounded the pair. Rowan sighed with relief until he saw that they were pointing their weapons not just at Vera, but at him. "Step away from the alien," ordered Commander Briggs. Rowan froze. "She's not a threat." "She is a royal hostage," Briggs spat. "She will be interrogated for intelligence. You will be detained and investigated for treason." 2 soldiers grabbed Rowan. He fought, shouting, "Briggs, she's trying to end the war. She saved me." No one listened. And then Vera's voice rang out, clear, sharp, regal. "Touch him again, and the Empire will burn this planet to ash." Everyone froze. Rowan stared at her, stunned. The rebellious girl he saved now radiated the terrifying confidence of a queen-to-be. "If you harm him, I will tell my father that the humans executed the one man who risked everything to save his daughter," she declared. "And both sides will drown in the war you are prolonging." Briggs hesitated. His career, humanity's image, the fragile negotiations, everything hung in the balance. Trembling, the commander ordered both of them transported, not to a prison, but to the diplomatic fleet. The ending, her gratitude, changed everything. 3 weeks later, after endless negotiations, the unthinkable happened. A ceasefire. Rowan was brought to the Dravari flagship as an honored guest. He expected a ceremony, or perhaps a political statement. Instead, he entered a throne room filled with Dravari nobles and stopped cold. Vera stood at the center, dressed in royal formal wear, radiant and proud. Her father, King Zoran, observed Rowan with an unreadable gaze. "I know what you did," the king began. "You saved the princess at risk of your own life. You carried her through fire, through wolves, through war, when you could have traded her for safety, fame, or glory." Rowan bowed slightly. "Anyone would have done the same." "No," the king interrupted. "Many would not." He gestured toward Vera. "My daughter insists that the negotiations will fail unless gratitude is repaid properly." Rowan tensed. "I want nothing. I didn't do it for reward." Vera stepped toward him, her voice quiet but firm. "You risked everything for me, Rowan Hale. So, I will not insult you with a reward that implies debt." She lifted his chin so he couldn't look away. "I offer you a choice." The room fell silent. "You may return to your people as a decorated war hero," she said softly. "Or you may choose to stay, stand beside me, not as a hostage, not as a soldier, but as the one person I trust to keep me honest, humble, and human." The nobles gasped. King Zoran's eyes narrowed, but he did not object. Everyone waited for Rowan's answer. Vera whispered, almost afraid, "Do you want to stay with me?" Rowan thought of the war, the dead, the anger, the fear, and of the girl who had tried to end it all. The girl he carried through hell because he couldn't bear to see her die. He stepped closer. "I didn't save you because you're royalty," he said. "I saved you because you're Vera. And yes, if you'll have me, I'll stay." Vera exhaled with relief and took his hand in front of the entire court. Her gratitude wasn't a reward. It was a promise. And as the chamber erupted into shocked whispers, Vera leaned close and whispered the words only he could hear. "Together, we will make sure the war never returns." Rowan smiled. Together. Human and Dravari. Hope replacing hatred. A partnership that stunned both empires and changed the galaxy forever.